In a quaint village, nestled among rolling hills and lush meadows, there lived a man named Samuel. He was known far and wide as a good and kind-hearted soul, always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need and to offer words of wisdom and encouragement to his fellow villagers. Despite his gentle nature and compassionate spirit, Samuel harbored a secret that weighed heavily on his conscience, a sin of silence that had plagued him since childhood. For you see, Samuel had been born with a rare condition that rendered him unable to speak, his voice stolen away by a cruel twist of fate. From a young age, Samuel had struggled to communicate with others, resorting to gestures and expressions to convey his thoughts and feelings. Though his inability to speak had caused him much frustration and sorrow, Samuel had never allowed his condition to diminish his kindness or dampen his spirit. Instead, he had devoted himself to serving others, using his hands and his heart to spread joy and kindness wherever he went. He tended to the sick and the elderly, offered comfort to the grieving, and performed acts of charity and generosity without seeking recognition or reward. Despite his many virtues, Samuel could not escape the guilt that gnawed at his soul, a guilt born from the knowledge that his silence had caused harm to those he loved. He longed to confess his sin and seek forgiveness, but the words remained trapped within him, buried beneath layers of shame and self-doubt. As the years passed, Samuel's burden grew heavier with each passing day, until one fateful night when a stranger arrived in the village, a traveling storyteller with a gift for weaving tales that stirred the soul and touched the heart. Drawn to the warmth of the village hearth, the storyteller regaled the villagers with tales of adventure and romance, of heroes and villains, and of the power of words to heal and to harm. As the night wore on, Samuel found himself captivated by the storyteller's words, his heart stirred by the tales of courage and redemption. Inspired by the storyteller's words, Samuel resolved to confront his sin and seek redemption for the harm he had caused. With a newfound sense of purpose and determination, he set out on a journey of self-discovery, determined to find the courage to speak the words that had long remained unspoken. Along the way, Samuel encountered many trials and tribulations, facing his fears and confronting the demons that had held him captive for so long. With each step forward, he felt the weight of his burden grow lighter, his heart filled with hope and the promise of redemption. And as he reached the end of his journey, Samuel found himself standing before the village elders, his hands trembling with emotion as he prepared to speak the words that had long been trapped within him. With tears in his eyes and a voice filled with emotion, he confessed his sin and begged forgiveness from those he had wronged. To his surprise and relief, the villagers embraced him with open arms, their hearts filled with compassion and understanding. They assured Samuel that his silence had never diminished the love and respect they held for him, and that his courage in confronting his sin had only strengthened their admiration for him. With his burden lifted and his heart at peace, Samuel returned to his village, his spirit renewed and his soul lighter than it had been in years. And though he would never regain the ability to speak, Samuel knew that his words would always carry weight and power, for they were spoken from a heart filled with love and humility.